Okay, yay, there we go. We are going to go to the questions. Let's see, and I picked these randomly. So, number one, what made you decide to become a nurse? So, I guess that's the question people ask all nurses, because either you're in it or you're not. It's not for everybody, and I will definitely admit that. I've seen quite a bit of stuff, but what made me decide to pursue the field of nursing? It's just always been in me, I guess. I love helping people, and I want to be the difference. I see so many people that come into this field and their heart isn't in it. And the one thing that I would have to say is, if your heart is not in it, don't do it. You will surely be disappointed. The money is not going to make up for the long hours, for the stress, physically and emotionally. It won't do it. Number two is school as hard as they say it is? Nursing school it's hard, but don't let that scare you off. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Not everybody is cut out to do it. My advice is respect the beast. And when I say that, go in knowing that you're going to put in work. You can't weasel your way through like you did with, say, English or something of that nature. It's hard. Since I have been in the program, I have seriously cried every semester, and I love medicine, but yeah, the struggle can be real. Not to say that your experience is going to be my own, but don't go in there thinking it's going to be a walk in the park either. Did you pass your entrance exam the first time? Yes, I did, surprisingly. I procrastinated on that too. And I said I was going to start studying, and I put it off. And before I knew it, the weekend had passed and my exam was Monday morning. And so I went in and I had a conversation with God, and that's what I do with major tests. This whole experience, this is how I have handled this, and this is how I know this is, where He wants me to be, and that all of this is going to work out. Before I went and I took my HESI exam, I went and I spoke to Him and I said, Lord, if this is where you want for me to be, I need you to help me out. You know my heart. I want to do your will, and if this is your will for me, make this test to the point where it's so easy I breeze through it, or if I don't know the answer, whisper it in my ear. And I scored an 86. So number 4, do you have any tips on successfully completing the program? And my advice would be to successfully finish, keep pushing, remember why you started. Also, knock out whatever classes you can take beforehand, before you actually get into the program. That way you only have the actual nursing program classes that you have to worry about. How did you choose your school? How I chose my school? Oh, my school actually used to be one of the top 10 community colleges when I first started looking. And it actually wasn't even my first pick, to be honest with you, because I've moved out of the Houston area. And the school that I was doing my prerequisites at, they had a nice program also. And so I was going to go there, and I missed their orientation. I had some things going on with my boys and their school, and I had completely forgot. By the time I remembered, it was about 5:30. My orientation was to start at 4. By 6 o'clock, I had an email telling me that my spot had been given up, and oh my gosh, I cried. And so I was actually in the process of looking for another job, to see what I would do in the meantime. Well, about a week later, the school that I currently go to called me up, and the gentleman that I spoke to was wondering if I was still interested in the program. Well, mind you, like I said, I had already started putting applications out, and so I thought it was somebody calling about a job, and so I was like, I'm sorry, who are you calling with again? And when he told me, I dropped my phone and I started screaming, and I picked it up and I was like, yes, of course I'm still interested in the program. And he was like, wait, hold on, slow your roll. We have to see if we can make accommodations to get you into another orientation. which to me right there was already a sign, because from what I knew and from what I had heard, you know, the nursing field is so competitive. If you miss that orientation, that's it. Your spot is gone. They give it to the next person in line because there's so many people, you know, wanting to get in. And so that's how I ended up at the school that I am with now, and I'm glad it's almost over. I'm glad it's almost over. I have met some real jewels as far as professors go. I've learned a lot, but it's been real. What has been my worst experience, really? I don't want this to be like a whole sob horror story that scares you guys off. Nursing is awesome. It's awesome. You will love it. My worst experience, my first semester, and this semester, which would be my second to last. I don't even know what semester I'm in. I just know I have management and med-surg 2 left to go with the capstones and all that other stuff. But my first semester, I had a instructor from Hades. I lost 10 pounds my first semester. You see me, I'm little. I went into the nursing program weighing about 120, right? This is after 3 babies, weighing 120. And by the end of the semester, I was so stressed out with her, and she was talking, you know, bad to me. We were cool in the very beginning, but I think just the stress of it all, the end of the semester, everybody starts to go crazy. And her husband had ended up having a stroke, God bless him. And I think that along with her trying to take care of him, run our clinic, and not getting sleep, for whatever reason, I was her scapegoat. And at that point, you know, I didn't want to say anything to upset her, because she had that red pen and she was going crazy on my care plans. My first care plan, I scored in 87.6, I think, 87.6 or 86.7. I can't recall. It's actually over here somewhere. I still have it. And so I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a walk in the park. This is going to be great. That was the last 80 something I got on a care plan. With her, you needed three passing ones, and if you weren't passing them, you had to redo them. And yeah, it was horrible. And I went into like this obsessive overdrive to get everything perfectly the way that she wanted. And even when I made the corrections that she told me to make, it was still wrong. Oh, that's another thing. Care plans, do not put too much thought and effort into it. Pay close attention to how your instructor wants that done each semester, because I promise you it will change. This is what would have been my last semester, and like I said, each semester, each instructor that I have had has wanted something different. So learn what your instructor wants, stick to it, and that's it. You have inspired me so much. Aw, thank you. If you're watching, that's awesome, because when I first started, it wasn't necessarily to inspire anybody. It was to inspire my daughter, to be honest. I started off on Instagram with natural hair because I wanted her to love her hair once it started growing. As a matter of fact, she's the reason I went natural, if you haven't seen one of those other videos back. But that's why I actually started it, because I wanted her to love her hair, and it kind of like just took off from there. It's been amazing. And even though I'm like all over the place with my Instagram, it's not just hair. You guys really bless me. You do, and I appreciate you guys so much. And so I'm such a crybaby when you guys come and say how much I motivate and inspire you. I can't believe I'm crying. It really touches me, because none of this has been easy for me, and the things that I post, you know, when you guys come to you and say that it speaks to you, know that it also speaks to me. I don't even Oh, I didn't even get to the question. How do you juggle all that you do? I have no tissue. How do I juggle all that I do? I don't sleep. I don't sleep. Everything that I do are things that I really in love. Like I said, earlier, I'm creative, and so I always have to be doing something. As far as my kids are my joy and my pain all in the same, and don't knock me for that. If you guys have kids, you understand. My boys, like I said, the oldest one is gifted in ADHD, and he's like the ringleader here. And so everything, it's always wild and crazy here at my house. The only reason it's quiet now is because he's on the computer, and I'm letting him stay there so I can finish this. But my daughter, the things that you see me post on her, I like photography also, so that's not like a chore. I don't watch TV. I stopped watching TV like 7 years ago, and so that probably makes all the difference in the world. I'm a homebody. I don't go out. I enjoy my family, and so the things that I do are things that I would be doing anyway if I wasn't in school or working. So some of the activities have been cut that my kids were in. We've made some sacrifices, but other than that, I'm just living life and doing what inspires me. So I don't know if that answered your question. How do I juggle things? I'm a busybody. Always have to be doing something. I'm thinking about pursuing a career in nursing. What would you advise? What would you advise before I apply? My advice would be, like I said before, to get all of your prerequisites out of the way and know that this is what you want to do. You don't want to waste your time to come in and find out, oh yeah, nursing's not for me, or have a career that you're going to be miserable in. Prerequisites beforehand. Do all that you can so that you can focus, and then just know if you're working. Oh, and I don't work. I've been out of work, like I said, for over 3 years now, so I could focus on school. And I've been lucky enough to the point where, thank God, my husband's been able to kind of carry us for this time. So yeah, know that you might possibly have to give up some hours, because your hours, nursing school and working full-time, I don't see how people do it. How old are you? You look so, I look so young. Thank you. I am, and remember I just said I've been a year off since my birthday, because on my birthday I was actually on a plane flying to, back home to the East Coast, to Philly, for my daughter, or my daughter, I feel like it. They were right at the same age. I was flying home for her homegoing service. I am 36. I think, yeah, I'm 36. Thank you. 10. Okay, this is the last one. Number 10. I want to be a nurse, but horrible at math. Is there a lot of math? The good thing about this is there are basic formulas. Once you learn the rules to the basic formulas and you memorize your conversions, you're golden. You're golden. So it's not necessarily a lot of math. Your pharmacology, if you're lucky, you will take that before nursing school. Take it before, if you can. Just make sure that it's one, I have to sneeze, that you're, excuse me, bless me, one that the program will accept, because you don't want to deal with learning that and everything else. I think I'll actually do a video with the formulas and stuff like that. There's a lot of those on YouTube, but if you guys want me to do that, I don't mind doing so. So if you want that, comment down below and I'll, do a video with the formulas and what helped me. But surprisingly enough, I am yeah, I'm not having an issue with it. And that was the end.